Welcome back, race fans, to Off the Track podcast where you get the dirt. I'm Levi Ray Gotze, and as always, we're here at Blue Chip Technologies Racing Engines. We are a high-performance race engine shop located right here in Heltonville, Indiana, and today we have joining us on the show Bradley Sterrett.
Not very many people call me by my middle name.
No? All right. Well, I just learned the first thing about you.
Yeah, no, that whenever I first got my Facebook account, it asks you for your first and middle and all that, so that's why. But I've just always kept it, and people always usually when I got called by my middle name, I was in trouble. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I was talking to David earlier, and he had I'd said, "Hey, when's Bradley Sterrett going to be here?" You know, and he was like, "Well," he goes, "I just call him Bradley." I was like, I guess I'll find that out here in a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Not very many people do that, but
right.
I do get it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we got you down here at the shop today to kind of tell your story on how you got started in racing.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Appreciate you showing me around. You guys got a nice big facility here. Looks like your engine shop's going to be really nice. It's clean. That's the biggest thing. It's clean.
That's right. Yeah, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
So, at what age did you actually get started?
I think I was 11 or 12, somewhere right in that range. A good buddy of mine, Jeffrey Bland, I ran around with him when I was little, and he raced go-karts, and I wanted one for a long time.
Right.
And finally, my dad gave in, and we bought a go-kart. It was an asphalt go-kart. We didn't know anything about go-karts. We bought one from, I think it was called Gibbon Densel's. It was right there off of Walnut Street. It was like a restaurant. And I remember going there with my dad when I was 11 or 12 and going in this restaurant, going through the back, and they had like a garage, and here was this go-kart, and we bought it.
Yeah.
And another buddy of mine, Eric Smith, his dad, Sam, was like a go-kart guru, and they helped us out a bunch with it. So I was 11 or 12, so I've been racing 17 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it goes quick when you're out there and
having fun.
Yeah, having fun, enjoying life, and you look back and it's crazy how many years and money that you've spent and time, but
a lot of money.
Yeah, it does. It adds up.
Mm-hmm.
So you race karts down at Boggs, I heard.
Yep.
Is that one of your
Boggs.
tracks? Yeah.
Did Linton a lot. Linton was one of my favorite racetracks.
Yeah. I
had a lot of success there. And we followed around a series called Kentuckiana Burris Series. It's crazy to even see that Linton's not around anymore because after I got out, it kind of trickled down. But I mean, heck, we had B mains when I was racing there, so there was a lot of people that race go-karts, and now I think it's kind of driven towards quarter midgets.
Yep.
You know, there's so many quarter midgets, and the go-karts have kind of faded out, I guess, on a local weekly deal. You know, I remember going every Saturday to somewhere. Yeah. And now I think it's still big. You know, there's still people that do it, but it's more indoor. Which is great for the wintertime.
Yeah, this time of year.
Yeah.
So you're running karts, you're winning races, having fun, and then one day your dad, I'm assuming, just says, "Hey, what do you think about jumping in a big car?"
Well, he made a deal with me. That last year I raced go-karts, I think I only lost one race. So we had a really good year, and I was ready to do something different. You know, I was burnt out, and a lot of go-kart people will tell you there's a lot of drama in it, and just I was ready to be done. I was ready to do something different. And my brother raced modifieds at the time. Okay. And it was an old Jeffrey Bland car. It was I think it was a 99 Ellis was my first modified leaf spring car.
Right.
And mom and dad said, "Here you go." Nice. And then they said, you know, that was their big thing is we're not going to go broke doing this. This is your hobby. Yeah. So right when I think I was 15 or 16. What's funny is I had to actually get emancipated.
Is that right?
To race, yeah.
Okay.
So we had to get a lawyer, and they were very adamant that it was just at the racetrack. You know, I was not. Yeah. You know, I couldn't act up. You know.
Right.
So but I think I was 15 or 16. I remember having people like drive me to the track sometimes.
Right.
And then when I turned 16, heck, there was times I was going up and down the road by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, trailer on. Probably wasn't even supposed to be having anybody ride with me
Right.
yet. So that was my first modified. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of how far they've came since
yeah.
I have a leaf spring car, you know. So that's what I jumped into. They got me my first one and said it's your hobby, and it's kind of went from there.
Yeah.
So they've helped me, you know, I can't say that,
yeah.
but you know, they've always had a truck and a trailer for me and provided the insurance and the fuel for me to get up and down the road, but my sponsors have helped me. I mean, you know that. I mean, it doesn't matter if someone gives you $100 bill, that bought you something.
That's right.
So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it really, sometimes it's not even the money. It can be just someone offering to help or take the time out of their day to stop by and turn a wrench or anything helps.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of help.
Yeah, I had a lot of good guys that helped me along the way. Just there's no way that I could have.
Yeah.
I did a lot of it because when I was younger, when I was doing that, I was still in high school, and I didn't really have a job, and I lived at home, and you know, I could just walk out to the race shop and do all that. And I was young then. I could stay up late and
go on 3 or 4 hours of sleep, get up the next day and roll with it. Yeah, it's crazy how much time it takes to maintain the cars, and you get, like you said, between work and trying to keep the maintenance up on them, it'll drag the energy right out of you.
I think that's the biggest thing that people don't understand about what we do.
Yeah.
Is how much time it actually takes to run a team that can win.
That's right.
Because, you know, you see all the time races are won in the shop, and there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
You know, but it also takes a lot of that too.
Yeah, it does.
And
it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So it's crazy to see, you know, we were talking the other night, you know, modifieds when I first started racing were 600 to win. Mm-hmm. It's 700 now.
Yeah.
You know, that's been 10 years.
Right.
9.
Right.
And it's the same amount of money, but yet you could have some old Bilstein shocks that were $75 on the car, and now you're paying $350 a shock.
Right.
And you're building $20,000 race engines, but if you don't do it,
you might as well just go sit in the stands.
Yeah, and that's just, everybody says that, oh, I'm just going to get in and play with this, and then you start to get a little bit better, and then you get competitive, because if you're going to drive a race car, you're competitive, then you just start throwing money at it.
Yeah.
And then, because you want to win.
Right.
That's why you're there.
Yeah, nobody wants to put together a team or a car and a team and go out and say, I'm going to run 15th.
No, no.
Do my best to make the show every week.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta.
And it's okay to set goals, and you start out with something. That's what I started out with that leaf spring car. Mm-hmm. And then there were guys that were, 4-bar was just starting to get out, but Ray Humphrey was driving a swing arm car. I don't know if you remember that car he drove for Tate, that 75. It was white and orange.
I remember running against Ray whenever I was like 16 up at Bloomington Speedway. Matter of fact, me, him, and John DeMoss, probably one of my most memorable races I ever had in the modified up there was, we ran like 3 wide for the last few laps of it. It was a heat race, but for me, 16 years old, and I'm looking at Ray Humphrey and John DeMoss, and I'm just, tickled. I'm just happy. I mean,
let me paint a picture for you. My first year in this modified, it was probably middle of the season, late season, won my first heat race. And I don't think my heat race was stacked or anything, but when I first started racing, there was a lot of good guys down there. So long story short, I ended up puking in the lineup chute because I was on the pole of the feature. And I'm in the lineup chute, and I was so nervous.
Right.
I lifted up my helmet and just puked in my car.
Yeah.
Because I had Ray Humphrey, Shelby Miles, both the Mosses, Dan Hamstra, Jesse Kramer, Jeffrey Bland, Matt Bex was in there.
Right.
There was, I remember at one time, 7 of the top 10 in points were like top 15 in the nation.
Right.
So that's who I had to race with
Yeah.
all the time. So it got discouraging,
Oh,
at
yeah.
times. But I knew that racing with those guys would
Only improve your game.
make me better.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing about, our area, it seems to me, when you go to any of our local tracks, you're racing against the best. I mean,
Yep.
it's only going to better you every time, everywhere you go, but
Right.
racing against guys that have got that kind of talent, it definitely makes you better every time. And it's cool thinking about all that. And by the way, I didn't win that heat race. I ran third.
Yeah. I
Just want to get that clear.
I got beat by both of them a lot too.
Yeah, they were. I mean, of course, John, when he does climb in a car, he still makes it look easy.
Yeah.
And the Humphreys, they've always been on top of their game. So it's
Ray was
especially at Bloomington.
yeah, it was always painful to see them pull in the pits.
Yeah, you just pretty well knew.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what divisions have you ran since you got started? And
Everything.
that's what I thought.
Except a super late model. So if anybody's out there watching and wants me to hop
you
in one
go.
of those, I'd
Right.
love to do that. After I got out of the modified, I got hooked up with Bruce Lear. He helped me do the non-wing deal. I did that for a couple years, and we popped a motor. And I went back to modifieds, and then I got on full time at the city of Bloomington Fire Department, and I just didn't have time to do it. And then been fortunate enough just to drive for different people. Right now I'm doing the 305 deal, the wing sprint car. I'm driving for the Flynn family, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that. But I've drove, mini sprints, Hornets,
all the way up.
street stocks.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever drove a bomber. And I drove Edgar's, crate car a couple
right.
times. But never a super.
Super late model. Well, we might have to scratch that off the bucket list this
I know,
summer.
that would be awesome.
We'll find somebody out there.
Yeah, I'd love to. I was harassing Brad Barrow about that.
Yeah.
I'd love to get in one and just do it. Say
Yeah.
I did it, and
Right.
I think I could be competitive in it. I think there's a
I'm
lot of
sure.
similarities, from, one of my best friends is Kent Robinson, and we talk a lot, and obviously the tires and motors and stuff are a lot different, but you know,
Yeah.
the way the car reacts and how you go in the corner and drag the brake, and you're trying to keep the thing on the bars, and
Right.
a lot different from leaf spring days, but
Yeah.
still.
Oh, yeah. So, with all the divisions that you ran over the years, what would you have to say is your favorite?
That's a tough question because you can rule out go-karts.
Yeah, right.
Your back hurts after you get out of those things.
That's right.
I really love the modified division. It's fun. It's a challenge, but the sprint cars there's just nothing like driving one of them.
I bet.
410 to 305. The wing deal, I'm having so much fun because it's different.
Right.
It's not. I'll be the first to say that when they first came out, I thought they were really boring.
Yeah.
But now they've progressed, and people are running better shocks and running better components on the car, and I think there's some more guys that are getting into it, so the racing's a little bit better. But if you look at the lap times and stuff, we're turning the fastest laps usually in the night, and it's cool to see someone like Thomas Meserol.
Mm-hmm.
When those guys get in these cars, I want to beat them.
Right.
And I remember up at Gas City, we had a heat race and get out, and we're over there at the redraw, and he's like, "Man, these things rip," And it's like, I know. They're fast.
Right.
I can't believe it. That's
Yeah.
when I first got in it. I almost got fired the first time I drove it because I almost went through the infield. I went to go, that. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and the car turned. I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
So, but no, we ended up, I'm still there.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, what track would you have to say is your favorite track to hit around here?
We were just talking about that. I really enjoy Terre Haute.
Yeah.
There's just something about that place.
Yeah.
And just the straightaways are so long, and you really got to drive it in hard into the corner, and I really like that, and just probably Bloomington.
Yeah.
That's been my home racetrack
track.
since and I remember going down there and watching when I was a little kid, and
right.
5 minutes from my house. So
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
yeah, so
Terre Haute is a blast, though. They got its name for a reason. Action track, you know. So, have you ran the 305 up at Terre Haute?
No. We have 2 races there this year. This will be the
Nice.
first time that they've been there.
Cool.
So, I think the biggest racetrack I've raced them on is we went to Lincoln, Nebraska, Eagle
Yeah.
Raceway, and out there is a pretty big track. Kind of reminds you of Lawrenceburg.
Okay.
You kind of you haul the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
bet.
wing on top, you got so much downforce, and your corner speeds are what, to me, that is so different. You know, where you
Right.
kind of have some time in the corner and you're going through there, and really, you can't hold it wide open, but you got to roll off. But like I said, it's weird. Your corner speed is, you're just right through there, and then you're back down the straightaway.
Yeah. I'm sure they're a blast.
Yeah.
Never been in a sprint car. I've always said that I'd like to get in one as far as being on track by myself. I don't know about being out there with 19, 23 other cars or however many you guys start the feature with, but I'm sure I get a lot of people's stuff tore up real quick.
Well, there's a lot of people that are in them that shouldn't be. So,
Well, that's all classes.
yeah.
So, who would you have to say over the years has been one of your biggest supporters?
Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
I mean, they've really helped me. I mean, there's no way that I could have done it without them.
Right.
Them for sure. But I've had some really good sponsors too. You know, First Masonry has helped me a bunch.
Yeah.
Lear Motorsports has helped me a bunch. Huntley Excavating, JB Salvage. All these people have really. I mean, like I said,
They've been behind you for a while.
Yeah,
too.
they're.
And it didn't really matter what division you was in; they always had your back.
Right. Yeah. So they've helped me, and Jeff Van Horn, he's always helped me out with the lettering stuff. You know,
he does great work too.
Yeah, that's big because that's expensive.
That's right.
You know, so he helps me out a lot there, and heck, he even started lettering my go-karts. You know, that's how long he's been doing my stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys there, you know, they kind of been with me for a long time, and that helps. You know, like I said, even if it's $100, but those people consistently helped me year after year.
Yeah. I always see Dave's truck with your sticker on the back glass up at Bloomington a lot. I'll see him rolling around town or at a job site or something. But
he's not doing anything, is he?
He's usually telling somebody what to do.
What to do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so who all helps you guys out on the car racing for the Flynn?
Yep, Jeff and Chris Flynn.
Yeah.
They're, I don't even know what he is to him. His name's Todd.
Okay.
Todd Sturgis.
Todd.
Yeah. I don't know if they're cousins or what. I've never asked.
He's always there.
Yeah,
so.
Todd and Shannon always come. Heck, they even went to Nebraska with us. So, but Jeff and Todd pretty well do everything, and I get to drive it.
So they maintain the car.
Yeah,
pretty well.
Jeff usually does everything on his own through the week. You know, and then Todd comes to the racetrack, and I help too. But a lot of times it's better off if I just get out of the way.
Yeah,
he's
focused.
very. The thing I appreciate about him is he's very meticulous.
Right.
And he's,
I was over there. He wants it his way.
Yeah,
and
I was
have the time to get it his way.
Yeah, I was over there day before yesterday. I stopped by, and he was, jacking with rear end and stuff, and just watching him, and then, he's like, that thing's a 16th of an inch off. But that's just going to have to be the way it is because everything's lined up.
Right.
So everything's super clean, and as far as safety goes too, that's important.
Pays his close attention to all the cracks and the welds and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah. So that's big whenever you.
Yeah, especially if you're not, turning the wrenches on the car, and he is. You gotta have your faith in him on everything that he's doing. So it makes a good team. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yep. I feel like we're really good, and at the end of last year, we started to click. You
Yeah.
know, I think a lot of it was, you know, I think the car's always been good, but it's me that's been
you're
learning,
adjusting to it.
because heck, we got like 7 of our races rained out. So I think we
Yeah.
only ran like 15 shows.
Right.
But that Nebraska deal was a pretty big turning point for me, going out there and just learning and racing against those guys. And I think there was, that first night we checked in, obviously some people dwindled out, but there was around 100 race cars, and we came home 8th. So we
Nice.
made the big show. We started 15th and
That's impressive.
and got 8th. So our first time out there. So hopefully this year we can go out there and pick up about 7 spots. And
Yeah, try to get you at least a top 5.
yeah, that'd be great. So they would be tickled pink, and
Yeah.
so would I. So
Well, that'd be cool.
mm-hmm.
That's impressive. I mean, when you got that kind of car count, so that's pretty cool.
These guys have got some money out there too. Let me
Yeah,
tell you.
I bet.
We rolled in with a pickup truck and trailer, and they've got farm money out there.
Yeah.
I mean, the trailers and the race cars, and I mean, it's amazing
Yeah.
what they have out there. They take that division very seriously out there.
Right.
Yeah. So, but South Dakota and Nebraska, that area, they have quite a few tracks that run them, and pretty big.
Yeah, probably get those kind of numbers as far as car counts pretty regular.
Yeah, I don't know about that many, but probably 30 to 40.
Wow,
You know, but
which is good. I mean,
Here,
that's a good count.
here, I think our average, they ran an average. Our average was 23, I think.
Okay.
So our series, the Race Saver, Excalibur Graphics Race Saver series, you know, I think one night we even had close to 28 cars.
Nice.
So it's growing a lot.
It is. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I know. I really can't think of too many people that I know that drive them, but I mean, as far as watching them, one thing I gotta say, just running the wing, to me it just, you know, when you guys take those spills, they got to be safer.
Yeah.
I mean, the wing's going to slow it down.
It cushions it.
Yeah.
I've not turned a wing over, but I've done a non-wing, and it's not fun.
Right.
Yeah, it's not.
It
hurts.
It looks awful every time.
Yeah.
I know you guys generally just jump out, walk back to the truck upset or whatever.
Yeah,
But
it's adrenaline.
when you watch those cars go for the rides that they do, I know I've seen my share of them stuck in a fence or land plumb out in the parking lot there at Bloomington. And it's scary.
Yeah.
Man, the way you guys strap in those things anyways, it's...
Yeah, you don't want to be claustrophobic.
No, it's crazy. So, what would you have to say over all the years would be one of your most memorable races?
I figured you'd ask that. I don't know. I've had so much fun and such good memories.
Nothing, not one stands out over another.
I mean, anytime you win, I mean, that's
you've
great.
You've got quite a few victories.
Yeah, and, you know, Terre Haute, you know, it's pretty sweet to win up there, and we won a couple races, so
Nice.
that's neat. And just winning at Bloomington, and I won this year, or last year now, you know, my first sprint car win was there, so
Nice.
that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
But there's just so many of them, you know, heck, there's just
Yeah.
nights of, and you know it, just driving up down the road with your buddies and
Right.
and just shooting shit and
Yeah.
you know, just
Right.
you know, it's that's what you you know, you do it to race and have fun, but that's part of the fun.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah,
or tinkering around in the garage.
that's
and
exactly right.
so because you want to get to race for, I mean, you're there for 7 hours, but
Right.
you race for 20 minutes.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, it's memories every day that you're working on one, and you got whether, you know, like for me, my kids, they're pretty involved with my racing at times, and then my wife, my friends, and it's always fun to go to the track, especially if you can actually have everything lined out and get there on time and throw a grill out, throw some burgers and dogs on, and it makes a good day. Especially whenever the weather's nice and it's not
Right.
either burning up hot or freezing cold icebreaker weather.
yeah.
So, how many wins do you think you've got over the years?
Oh, I don't know. Not as many as Devin Gilpin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really like tallied them up.
Okay.
You know, I think my best year, I think I had like 8 in a
Nice.
season, you
That's
know,
pretty
in the
good.
modified deal. But that was, I raced against Devin a lot that year.
Yeah.
You know, I was chasing national points and stuff. But
Right.
I've always won like at least one, you know. And that's just kind of how it's went. But this year we won 3. But hopefully next year we'll win a lot more and keep plugging along. That year I had that diamond, which I loved that race car.
Yeah.
We ran.
Yeah, you were pretty.
Yeah, we won at Terre Haute in that car. We won a summer national race. I had to pass Tyler Nicely to win that one, and I won 4 races, and I think I only raced the car 8 times.
Nice.
Yeah, because I blew the motor up, and I was out for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then I got back into it. The very first race was Terre Haute. My motor builder was like, no.
Yeah.
The first race, you're going to Terre Haute? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we ended up winning. It was dry slick. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even think I turned 6,800 RPMs.
Right.
But yeah, that was probably one of my better, you know, averages right there. I didn't race that much,
Right.
but the car was really good. And I was racing sprint cars too. So
Yeah.
any other race car than yours is the best race car.
Oh yeah. Right. Well, the diamond cars. I know Braden Watson. That's
Yep.
what he's running. He's doing great.
Yep.
2 years in a mod now, maybe.
I'm not sure how many
I'm
years
not for sure, but I mean, young kid coming up through and doing great. I know I talked to him a little bit at Brownstown last summer, and we had a pretty good heat race run together, and we were just talking. I told him, I said, you're going to do great.
Yeah.
I mean, and he is. He's going to really, he'll be one of the guys that everybody talks about,
Yeah.
just like Gilpin.
Those race cars are so drivable. They really
Yeah.
are. That was, and I always tell Ryan every time I see him, if I ever were to buy a new,
Yeah.
I would buy one from them because
Right.
it did, you know, it was like just driving a Cadillac. You know,
Yeah.
I never felt like I had to hustle it. And at Brownstown, it was really good there too.
Yeah. Well, any car that's good at Brownstown's got to be a good car. 'Cause
Yeah.
that place is tough to get
And
to.
it gets slick, and
Yes,
it's
it
hard to get
does.
around there.
Yeah, it's seems like you ask a lot of drivers what they would say is the most challenging track, and Brownstown always comes up. You know, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would,
Yeah.
because that's like one of the only places that I've not. I won a Race of Champions race there, and that's the only one I've ever won in a modified.
Okay.
I've gotten second umpteen times
Right.
to Devin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jared
but-
Bailey seemed to say that also.
Yeah, so he beat me a lot. There was
Yeah.
one night I remember, I was checked out, man. I was gonna win, and caution came out, and he freaking slid me, and I tried to get back under him, and he blocked me, and there it was.
Yeah, it
2
was
laps.
over.
Yeah, there was 2 more laps, and he ended up winning. And I was so mad. Everyone came over. Oh, that was such a great race. You did a good job. I'm like,
I got
got
beat.
second.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
I'm tired of following him.
Well, he sounds like he's made a lot of drivers improve their game. I
He
know.
has. He's. I hate to not see him racing as much, and
Yeah.
you know, he's. I think he's gonna get out and race some more this year, and I know everybody hated seeing him win, but
Yeah.
I kind of miss it now.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah. Well, he definitely always performs well. It seems like if he goes out and has to start on the tail, he can
he's done some impressive things.
work his way
Yeah.
up through there and still make them work for it.
Right.
He's always impressed me.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of talent. So, do you guys do run for points in the?
Yeah. So this year we got 4th.
Nice.
Yeah, we were. It sucks because we were. I think we were 1 point out of the lead after I won that Bloomington race, and we went to Hobstadt and got in someone else's mess and had a DNF.
Okay.
So that put me back into like second by 15, 16 points, something. And then got back to like 5 or 6 points, and then we had a DNF at North Vernon, and then I couldn't ever recoup from that. So we had 2 DNFs, and I think that says a lot about everybody that I'm racing with. They're very consistent.
Right.
They're good.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not just a go in here and I'm going to win this deal. So,
Right.
So Anton and Ethan and Andy Bradley, they all were pretty tight going into that last race. So,
Yeah.
But
Well, that's Andy Bradley. It seems like he is always a top competitor, and follow him a little bit on Facebook and try to keep up with them guys and what all they're doing. And
he's too busy.
yeah, then I mean, it's like that in all divisions though. You've got, you know, all across the board, guys working their tails off in the shop and at the track, and got setups and down to science, it seems like. And they just dominate, and then it's like everybody wants to try to get better, and then they'll get better, and it just kind of rolls off that way, I guess. But we all improve, I feel like, you know,
time.
learning off of each other and time, and knowing who you can run clean and who's going to treat you wrong. And so is there anybody at the track as far as setups that you go to for advice if you're, you know, struggling a little bit at Bloomington? Is there anybody you bounce ideas off of in that division, or?
Not really. With this wing deal, Jeff, I couldn't tell you what.
Yeah.
You know, that's like some of the guys have came over and they're like, "What gear are you running?" or this or that, and I'm like, I don't know.
There you go.
I really don't, and it's awesome because I'm not giving away any secrets, but I truly don't know. And I think that's probably why I do better too, because I'm not second guessing myself and getting in the race car and thinking, man, did I make the right?
Yeah.
That happens to me all the time when I was doing my sprint car gig, which my crew chief in that too, he was a lot like Jeff, very meticulous, really wouldn't let me turn a wrench. And he set it up, you know.
Right.
I knew what we were doing in that one.
Yeah.
You know, I knew, you know, I had to be more involved. It was my own race car.
Right.
But this one, it's been great. I can just get in it and drive. But
Yeah.
in the modified deal, you know, when I first got into it, there were so many different people that try to help you. And finally, I just had to be like,
calm down.
And I just started doing my own thing because I drive different than you, and this guy's going to drive different than me and you. Right. And that's what I've tried to explain to people. I'll help you all day long, but I want you to just listen to me.
Yeah.
You can't have 5 or 6 different people telling you what to do.
Right.
Because well, that doesn't work. This guy's, you know, that race I won at Terre Haute, somebody told me that the spring I had in my pull bar spring would never work. Mm-hmm. Well, it did. Yeah. And it works on a little track too. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know. So I picked up a lot of that on my own, but you know, that the diamond car, Ryan, he came and he set it up in my garage for me.
Yeah.
And then I just tinkered on it just a little bit.
Right.
So, you know, every builder kind of gives you something to go off of.
Yeah.
And you just have to tweak it.
Right.
So I try not to go ask too many people too many things.
Right.
Because you don't want them to really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like what the car owner was telling you. Just, I don't know when they ask.
I don't.
And then you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
As a kid, that's funny that you say that. Whenever I was young, I started racing pretty young, you know. I got in the first big car when I was 12, but started doing pretty decent when I was 15, and as far as winning races. And Dad, he used to have Trent Nicholas put a sticker inside my car and it'd say, "I don't know," and that was it, you know. So then when guys would come over and, hey, what, like you said, what gear are you running, or what kind of stagger are you guys running? What springs over here? I'd just be like, I don't know, you know, because Dad always said, he was like, you just tell them you don't know, and then you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've told people sometimes what I'm doing, and they don't believe me.
Right.
And it's just, it works for me.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And you're right. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everyone's driving is different. The cars are different. And you got to keep making those adjustments until you figure out where you shaved off 2/10 here or whatever. And eventually it all adds up.
Right.
So when you were running the modifieds, you did your own car, but then I know for a little while you jumped in Roddy Harris's car.
Yep. I drove for Roddy on and off for a while.
Yeah.
And he's been there for me as far as for me to hop in his car, because when I sold my stuff, I was doing the sprint car and modified. So he got to, I'd never won a championship in a modified because I was always trying to chase points and all this. So in 2017, we won the Bloomington Speedway track champion, and his dad was there too. And his dad, passed away
Right.
About a year and a half ago, I think,
Yeah.
with cancer. So it was cool that he was a part of it. And Roddy's deal now, and
Right.
and he's doing really good. And I talked to him earlier. He's driving and walking and doing everything that he's supposed to. And up in Indy, they're really preaching how good he's doing. So
That's good.
really pulling for him. And he was telling me the other night, I think John's going to drive his car some more this
Yeah.
year. They're going to get a body on it, and he's going to go and have some fun and enjoy life.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, he's definitely got a lot of people praying for him.
Oh, yeah.
I know the racing community, it's a big family, and I'm sure there's a lot of families out there praying for him, and I know he's got a lot of support. And a guy like him, I mean, he's always been funny and happy and just
Yep.
go-lucky kind of guy, and he's
He's always doing for somebody else. That's
Right.
what I told him. I said, man, you need to be selfish for once.
right.
It's this year. I drove for him at Brownstown, and he lent someone his truck to drive their race car down, so we didn't even have a truck for him to pull it home.
Okay.
And then he lent someone his generator, his good one.
Yeah.
So then we didn't have a generator to. I'm like, dude,
Right.
you need to be selfish. You need to use this stuff. He's like, well, the only thing we really needed to do was air up tires and just main stuff. But we need some
Yeah.
lights and stuff. So someone ended up. No, he had a smaller generator, so I believe we used that one. But the good one, he was letting somebody else use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, it says a lot about him.
Oh yeah, he give you your truck, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, that'll be good for him and John to be able to get the mod out this 2020 season, and hopefully they have a good season.
Yeah, I hope so. He's had some bad luck just racing wise, and just in general too. So it'd
Yeah.
be good to see his car out there and
Yeah.
running well.
I'm sure he'd have to bring a smile to his face to
Oh,
even
yeah.
be able to breathe and smell some dirt racing. I know he's always at the track, and you just kind of get to know people over the years, and we're not super tight or nothing like you guys, but I've definitely always said hi to him when I see him, and
Yeah.
he's always been good to me.
Yeah. We'll have to get him down here.
That's
He's
right.
got a lot of years that he can tell
Oh
you
yeah,
about. And
for sure.
I'll tell you a funny story about Terre Haute. I was driving his car.
Yeah.
He says it different, but
Okay.
maybe he's right. I don't know.
Well,
But,
we'll get both sides.
yeah. So I thought it was he said something. He was up in the stands or something, and I thought it was he came down and said, "Sorry, bud, I'd have got them tires for you, but I was up watching the race or something." And I told him, "I don't need your help."
Yeah.
Well, he says it was at Terre Haute. They make you put your transponders on the
Mid plate. Yep.
And I came up and said, "What the hell is that on there for?" We put that on the rear end.
Right.
And I said something. He said something to me, but we're like brothers. And I said,
Right.
"Don't you mouth me."
Right.
And he said, "Fine, I'm going to the hill." I said, "Bye."
See ya.
So we ended up winning our heat race and stuff. And he texted me and said, "Good job." And in the night, I don't think we did super great, third or fourth. And he said the worst part about that was he had too much pride to come back to the pits to get his cooler.
Yeah.
He had to spend $8 a beer up there, and he had a full cooler of beer down in the trailer.
That's funny. Well, so we know he probably spent at least $100.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure he'll laugh whenever he gets to watch this.
Yeah.
That's good. And it's memories like that you don't forget.
Yep.
And those times at the track whenever things are going good or bad,
Yeah.
it seems like you remember stuff,
We were good on the way home. Had to be. I rode with him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, nobody wants to make that walk. So for 2020, what's your guys' plans?
We're going to run that same series. We got
Yeah.
23 races. Jeff's working on building a new car right now.
Nice.
And we're going to go back and do that Nebraska deal, too. I'm excited about that.
That'll
It's
be
a lot
cool.
of fun
Yeah.
going out there and doing that. So,
How long of a trip is that for you guys
as
far as traveling?
So I had to work, so I ended up flying
Okay.
there and back last year. But this year I'm going to take my family, my wife and my son.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna pull a camper out and make a big hoorah out of it. So
There you go.
I think they said it took them about 10 hours.
Yeah.
So it's
Pretty good haul.
It's a haul,
Yeah.
but you're there for Wednesday to Monday, so
Yeah.
you're there for a while.
Right. Well, that'd be a good
And I
time.
left on Wednesday.
And how old's your kid?
He's 15 months.
15 months.
Yep, starting to walk around. And
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked last year. My wife didn't come as
Didn't
much.
get to go as much, yeah.
Because, he crawling around and stuff. But this year I'm excited because,
Yeah.
our first race is April 25th, so he'll even be that much older.
Right.
And then he's running around and
Right.
be able to,
Take the playpen and make sure
Yeah.
he's not in the sun and let him have some good outdoor air.
run around and throw wrenches and stuff.
Right. That's good. Now, did your dad, did he race or
He raced.
I can't.
I know
Yeah,
it's
it just-
weird. It's weird because I don't
just
have any.
growing
You
up
think
around-
of Godsey, and it's
Right.
like there's like 1,000 of them that
Right.
raced. No, the only thing he ever did was they used to do an enduro race at Bloomington Speedway, and I've got an old tape of him
That's cool.
that he did, and
Right.
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. Well, my cousin got into it, but I'm the one who got everybody going.
Okay.
I got my go-kart. My brother ended up getting a bomber. My
Yeah.
cousin got a go-kart. And then my brother got the modified.
Yeah.
And then my cousin ended up getting a modified later on down the road. And then I basically got my brother's hand-me-down. That Ellis was his.
I see.
And then he had a new Hobbs built.
Okay.
And that was his last year racing. He wrecked it, and then he was done.
He was just done
Yeah,
with it.
he never was into it like I am.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, some people get in it and dabble for a little while.
Yeah.
And it just ain't for them.
right,
And once you spend the time and the financial cost to, dabble, then I guess that's when you have to sit back and, is this really for us or not?
Right.
And then some people just keep digging.
yeah,
I was speaking to a guy on the phone just this week. I think it was yesterday, actually. And someone I don't even know. He just called the shop and was talking to him, and he was talking about his family and how many years they've been running sprint cars. And he said, if I had half the money I spent in the last 10 years, he said, I'd be pretty well off,
yeah,
It just goes to show you how much we all care about the sport and
yeah.
how passionate we are to spend every last dollar we got, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife. I was, she doesn't want Waylon to race, but it's like it kept me out of trouble.
Right.
So if that's what it takes,
Yeah.
because today's world is.
That's
I
right.
mean, it's easy to get mixed up
Oh, yeah.
in the wrong crowd, and
That's right.
not that racing would keep him away from that, but I'd like to think
Yeah,
it would.
it would. Yeah.
That was my thing. That was always over my head. Like, don't screw up,
Yeah.
because I'll take every bit of this away from you.
Right.
And I worked on it, and it gave me something to do too, and responsibility.
Right.
But the drive to win too. If you want to
Yeah.
win, you got to put the work in. you
Right.
know. My dad literally couldn't go out and tell you what a radius rod was, or the leaf spring on that car,
Yeah.
or what a pull bar was.
Right.
But if I needed like him to hold something,
Yeah,
or
he
I
was
could
there.
tighten something, when I raced go-karts, he did a lot of it, because I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
But when I got that modified, he didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And they used to go to like every one of my races. Now they hardly go.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just like they like it because I like it.
Right.
It's not something that they would really.
Yeah.
They don't really enjoy going 3 nights a weekend. They'll go to Bloomington.
Right.
Because it's across the highway.
Right.
Or Putnamville or something
Yeah.
like that. But they're not going to Nebraska, I can tell you that.
Right. They're
Yeah.
going to watch that clip off of YouTube.
They did. They watched it. We rented it or whatever, so they watched it that way. So that's how they watch a lot of my races now.
That makes it nice that
It
there's
does.
guys out there that are taking those videos and getting them out there. Well, so do you got any sponsors that you didn't already mention that's going to be on board for 2020 as far as this coming season?
So I always got to think our business.
Yeah.
Economy Pest Control.
There you go. Right.
Dad and mom are helping out as always. So,
Right.
And then we got Bruce Lear. He's still helping me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Chris, she's got an insurance company, Christine Flynn, Farmers Insurance.
Yeah.
We got who else is on there? FK, our shocks, Henchman, my uniforms.
Yep.
She's helped, Nancy up at Henchman's helped me for years. Simpson, that doesn't really go together, but I get my helmets and stuff from there.
Exactly.
Rocky's Pizza is going to be on board with us this year. That's a pizza joint in Bloomington. It's real popular.
Okay. I'm not sure if I've heard of them yet.
Well, he kind of took a hiatus for a while.
Okay.
And used to be Swingin' Pizza.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it was his dad or stepdad that owned that.
Okay.
And then they sold it, and he worked there for a while, and then
Now he's taken.
Well, now him and a partner, Charles, they opened Rocky's Pizza.
Nice.
So it's kind of like the same deal as Swing In, same type of pizza.
Right.
And so that's going. So it's going to be on the car.
Well, good deal. It's always nice when local businesses get involved and get their name out.
Yeah, you made me think of a couple more. I got Ramon Excavating coming on board with us. He's always helped Roddy out on the car I've drove.
Right.
And Myers Outdoor Maintenance, he helps Roddy, so he's helping me. And then Jake Dodds. So he's going on the car this year. So
awesome.
He's traveling around, and
Good deal.
he loves racing. So
That's great.
It's pretty cool to have a musician on the car too.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think seen some stuff. Trying to think. He's been at Bluebird.
Yep.
Up there in Bloomington, I believe.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
I talked to his dad Saturday. He had come from Iowa Friday night, drove Saturday, and then picked his wife and a friend of hers up, and then Jake drove to Nashville to play in Nashville, and then drove home that night. He's all over the place. Yeah.
It's a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than what I'd want to do.
Right. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got a pretty good list of supporters as far as sponsors coming on board and guys that have stuck with you over the years, which is always nice.
Yeah.
That's good. So if anyone wanted to reach out to you guys for the racing, would they just contact you through Facebook as far as reaching out to you guys if they want to get involved?
Yeah. So, I've got Bradley Sterrett on Facebook.
Bradley Sterrett. Just get a hold of Bradley.
Yeah. They've got a racing page, but I've got my Facebook, and people can message me or whatever. But if they want to know where we're racing and what we're doing, the Excalibur graphics racing
schedule,
it's right there on their Facebook page.
Nice.
So
cool.
Yep.
So what's the racing page? Is it Flynn Racing?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know that they do.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, they don't do a whole lot on there. I think their son Tyler does a lot of that.
Okay.
It's kind of finishes and stuff like that. Yeah. They don't really update people where we're going. It's hard to do. We got that list. We have to follow. That's the only sucky part about the 305 deal. We're limited to where we can go.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Is that your belly or is that mine?
That's mine, man. Jeez. I ate a bunch of broccoli and cauliflower right before we got started.
These things are great. You can hear that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so will everybody else.
Yeah.
So I was just getting ready to ask you, is there any shows for you guys at Paragon? Or
we have one.
Nice.
Yeah,
good deal.
So we got
to tell Spiker thanks for that one then.
I know, yeah. So we ended up getting 4 at Bloomington, 3 at Putnamville, or 2, and 1 at Paragon. So hopefully next year
that's good.
We'll get some more. I think that with scheduling and everything, it's hard to with we're not trying to be just a one-place track. I'd love to
Right.
be at Bloomington all the time.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get us out other places too,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Right. Well, that's good. Well, hopefully you guys have a good season this year and a safe one.
Yeah,
of
appreciate
course.
it.
We definitely appreciate you taking the time out of your day and away from your family and getting you down here to the shop, coming down. And I think that pretty much wraps up all my questions. And hopefully we see you at the track and you guys,
Winning.
yeah, get some
Winning.
victories, right?
And that super dirt late model too.
Yeah, so we'll have to
I'll have some
twist on
weekends
Barrow
off.
a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll twist on Brad's
No,
arm.
he ain't gonna get out of it.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Maybe in hot laps, right?
Yeah. I want to race it. I want to win.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Kent will help you out.
Yeah. Yeah. He's told me before that if he ever had a test day, which he's had several,
Yeah.
that I could. But the problem is, it'd be like this.
Right.
I couldn't
Hey,
see.
you just got to put a wheel plug in the seat, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
I've done
two.
that. I've done that.
I think we
Yeah.
all have.
Yeah, I've done that.
Right.
But he's about 6. I don't know
Oh,
what
yeah,
he is.
he's
6'2",
tall.
6'3", something
He's
like that. And I'm
tall.
5'7", so
Right.
that doesn't really work.
Don't work out.
No.
Yeah. I understand. The good news about growing up with a whole lot of short people and being short is you can pretty well fit in anybody's car. But yeah, when the tall guys get involved, I'm out.
I think the only person's car I had issues with that was short was Edgar's.
Right.
My knees actually kind of came up a little bit. That was the first for me.
Yeah. I'm sure that was a challenge. I don't know. I'm still shocked at how he gets in some of the cars that he drives. The seat will be plumb up past where the old wing window would slide out,
Yep.
Well, I think that wraps it up. That concludes this episode of Off the Track. If you haven't already liked us on Facebook, be sure and hit the like button. You can also visit our website at bluechiptech.net. If anybody out there needs any thing done on their engines, be sure and give us a call at 1-812-807-7050. We appreciate you all watching tonight. Have a good evening. Thanks.